Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an ELC EVEN 90. It's a Tier 8 French premium light tank. It's located on the north spawn of Erlenberg, and this one is under the command of Picklefish44. Game on! 90mm gun. It's a low powered or low pressure 90mm, and the reason it has to be is because this vehicle is very light indeed. The biggest armor is actually on the front of the turret and the vehicle at only 15mm, and the rest of it's only 10mm, so it's not very strong as a tank. In fact, it's about the size of a Fiat 500. Yes, it's very tiny. In fact, at the tank museum at Smur, you will actually find a Fiat 500 right alongside one of these, and it really looks quite strange because, of course, this is so tiny. It only has a crew of three, the driver, a gunner, and the commander. And as I say, it's a 90mm with a 3-shot autoloader. Now, the shells are capable of doing 220 alpha, penetrating 175mm with standard shells, and with the premium rounds, it's 215mm of pen. Now, the standard intra-clip reload is 3 seconds. 2.5 seconds. I keep getting this wrong now today. And so it is quite long, so it takes a little while to unload. And during that 2.5 seconds between each shot, you can be vulnerable. It's basically 5 seconds to unload all of the shells. And that's a long time during which you can get badly damaged. Now, it is a light tank, and it is one of the best tanks in the game for camo. It's not the best, that's the T100LT, the Tier 10 Soviet light tank. This thing's pretty good, though. You can get the camo up so strong that you can actually be driving through the field like this and still have virtually maximum camo on the enemy, and they almost can't see you until they get really close, or if you open fire. Now, he's doing a quick scouting run. He has been spotted. He got close enough to that turtle that he could see the turtle through the bushes, and the turtle could definitely see him. But now he's going up this end of the map, and he's almost at the edge of the map, and he's going to scout out where the enemy is over this side. And I'm sure there's going to be somebody in this corner. There's 2 Arty in this game. Oh, it's an E25. Okay, now he locks on, doesn't penetrate with the first shot, but he gets the second shot in, going for the third one. Oh, he took him out. I think that E25 took some damage from one of our teammates into just in between the 2 shots, and Picklefish says thank you to whoever it was, because otherwise he would have had to have driven away reloading whilst that E25 put shells into him. The standard reload for 3 shells is 29.37 seconds, and he's got 28.55, so he has reduced it a little bit, but he is vulnerable. Now, this turtle is vulnerable, except, of course, he couldn't get that shell in. He got that one in, and the kill shot goes to the T-34-100, who actually, I think, helped him with the previous time. Or it may have been that or the Barask who helped him with the E25. Anyway, he's got his first kill. Now, it was actually developed as part of the ELC program. That's why it's called an ELC EVEN 90. And the ELC program was for a light tank that would be air mobile, so it can actually be carried out by air to any of France's colonies and would help them with any combat. It's 90mm light gun is it's not hugely powerful. In fact, it does only 220 alpha. You'll find a lot of 90mm will do 240. And you notice how he's actually jigging from side to side as he moves over here, because he wants to try and spoil the shot of anyone who does try to land one on him. And he's found one of the Arty. Yes, it's the GW Panther. Puts 1 round into him. Wait for the second. Yeah. Oh, he got an ammo rack. And he's got that kill. There is an Arty directly behind him. I think he does know this. At least he should see it if he sees on his ammo rack. Yes, that Arty is now fired. And he's a long reload. And of course, because Picklefish was in a reload as well, he needed to get some distance between him and that guy, otherwise he could be toast. But now he can just drive up to the guy and unload and pick up a medal. That's one. And there's the kill shot, and he's got a Pascucci's medal. And that's his third kill. Okay, there were other versions of the ELC EVEN 90. In fact, the other ones were called the ELC EVEN 30, that had a 30mm cannon. The ELC EVEN 120, which had recoilless rifles, 4 recoilless rifles on it, which of course the crew had to get out to reload. And there was also a version which actually had missiles as well instead of guns. Of course, the vehicle wasn't accepted for production. They didn't go into production. And of course, it was part of the same competition as they have for the AMX ELC, because that's also basically around about the same size. But of course, that's a 2-man crew, whereas this one's a 3-man crew. Oh, he's just spotted another enemy, or was that him or somebody else? Somebody else, I think. T-34B. That's the American Premium Heavy Tank, which is painted black by Wargaming. Oh, lovely shot, and he gets the kill. That's his 4th kill. Now, his team isn't doing so well in this game. Up until the point that he just killed that T-34B, they were actually 2 down on the enemy. Now they're only 1 down on the enemy. There's only 3 left on his team altogether. And I think that Barask is about to die, but he might be able to get a shot on that T-20. He's just finishing off the load. Almost. 1 shot in. 2 shot in. Kill shot. And he does. And he pulls back into cover. But he did get the kill. Unfortunately, the Barask died. And there's only one other member of his own team left. It's an SMV CC56. And we don't know where he is. Oh, we do know where he is. In fact, he's badly damaged. And you can see it's one of the E25s on the enemy team who's just hit him. So he's going in to try and protect him, but he's only got a couple of seconds left before he's reloaded. Now, he can't go in by that route, so he has to come in by this. But he can stop at the... oh, he's been spotted. So he doesn't stop. He goes around. And the E25's gone into the water, which is not a very good move for the E25, because he probably will either drown or he's a 1-shot anyway. So let's deal with him. And there you go. And that's his top gun. Unfortunately, he did take a hit in the tracks, but I don't think that'll worry him. But now we're all alone. Yes, I'm afraid there are no members left on his own team, and there's 2 members left on the enemy. So he's outnumbered 2-1. He's facing a VK101P and another ELC EVEN 90. So how does he win this game? Well, the ELC EVEN 90 on the enemy team is actually coming up behind him at the moment. So he's actually hugging the river just in case he needs to escape. And it looks to me like that enemy ELC is trying to come and kill him. Now we can see from the hit points that the combined values of the other members of the enemy team are 872, whereas Picklefish has got 900. So he's actually very healthy. He's got all of his health, and the others are not healthy at all. In fact, you can see the VK coming. Now, if he can get a shell into the side of this guy, he might actually be able to take him out. He's been spotted, and it must be the ELC that spotted him. Yes, here he comes. 1 shot. Can he get the kill shot? I don't know if he can. In fact, he goes in for the ram and gets 232 from the ram. Oh, 5 from the ram. But now he's in reload, and so is the ELC. Now, he's lost some of his hit points in that ram, but he did take a hit from the ELC. Can he take that guy out? It would certainly help him a great deal because... oh, that was the VK. Okay, he's being very careful not to give himself give the VK an easy shot. In the meantime, the ELC on the other side is trying to coax him over. Oh, he got him! Lovely. Now get out of the way before the VK can respond. And he does. Now it's only the VK left. The VK is a 2-shot, I think. 282 hit points. Yes, it would take 2 rounds to take him out. Now he's reloading with premium ammo to give him extra penetration. Remember what I said about the premium ammo? 215mm. Now he should be able to go through the sides of that VK, and the VK is now capping. Now if he times this right, he can actually get a defender medal as well as killing the VK, and that'll add another medal. He's already got 7 kills. If he takes out the VK, he gets a Radley Walters. He's already got a Piscucci's. I suspect he's got, well, he's done very well on damage because he's 2,800 hit points. And so he might have the highest damage. There's the VK. I don't think the VK can spot him on his own, you see. He's out of range, and now he's using the bush mechanic. He fires one in, doesn't penetrate, so he doesn't get a reset. And the third shot, well, that doesn't work. Now, he does have some HE rounds, so he could use those if necessary. The HE rounds have got only 45 mils of pen, 270 alpha, but of course they can damage the tracks, and that would get a reset. Now, he has got enough capture points now on the VK to actually get himself a nice little defender medal, but he's timing it for the right moment to pop up or pop round the corner. I pop up into that bush there. Okay, there he is. Right, now. Time it right. He's using the APCR. Oh, he got a critical hit. That resets. He's got his defenders. And none of those shots penetrated. So he's reloading, but in actual fact, he's only got 2 rounds of APCR left. So he's going to be doing a short load. Only 2 rounds left. VK's still in the cap. He may have to get really close if he wants to destroy the VK. And he could do a sneaky one and cross the river and try and attack the VK from the other side. The VK is trying to present all of the toughest armor. Oh, he got a direct hit, and now he's definitely a one-shot. And potentially he's got the high caliber. That's 20% of the enemy hit pool. I thought he was close. Now we've had confirmation. He could actually have a high caliber as well. Oh, this is going down very, very nicely. He's only got 1 round of APCR left. He doesn't want to do a reload if he can help it, but he might be able to sneak up on this guy. Go for it. You can do it. Yes! What a kill! And he wins the game. And that is Picklefish44 in his ELC EVEN 90. Well, that was a very exciting game for Picklefish44 in the ELC EVEN 90. He got an ace tanker out of that game, which is not surprising considering what he did during the battle. He got a demolition expert because he blew apart the GW Panther and he went up in flames. He also got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, and a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 8. Here's all the big medals. Yes, he got a Radley Walters medal for killing 8 enemy tanks, the VK being the 8th one. He also picked up a Piscucci's medal for killing both enemy Arty in the game. He got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills, and on top of that, he did pick up the Defender for resetting the cap. In fact, he reset it quite enough times in that game, not just the first time he reset it, but actually subsequent times as well. I think he's probably got 100 reset points of that battle. His win rate was 14,460, which just goes to show how well he performed in the ELC EVEN 90 on this occasion. Let's have a look at the team score. Oh my God, you have to scroll the page on there. Okay, let's have a look at team score. Well, he definitely got the highest damage with 3,131 hit points, beating the ELC EVEN 90 on the enemy team, the one he wiped out. Yes, he got a Piscucci's medal, so he obviously killed both of our Arty as well. He got 2,869 hit points. And the third highest damage in that game actually went to the Barask on the enemy team, who managed 2,729 hit points. When it came to kills, yes, he's got that one. 8 kills went to Picklefish. 4 kills went to the Barask and 3 kills went to their ELC EVEN 90. And when it came to base XP, he's got that one too. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,487 went to Picklefish44, and he was the only player to get over 1,000. And the next highest scorer in that game was the Scorpion G on his own team, who managed 699. That's less than half the score that Picklefish managed in that game. And the third highest in the game turned out to be the Object 252U on his own team with only 687. Wow. Let's have a look at detail. He fired 27 rounds in that game. 26 direct hits on the enemy and 17 penetrations. I think the only shot that he actually missed the target on happened to be one shot on the ELC EVEN 90, I think right at the end, where he was desperately trying to get a shot on the guy, and I think he missed it. It may have been that one, it may have been one of the others, but he did very, very well indeed. 17 penetrations again. The penetration on the standard shells is not that great. He did have enough APCR rounds, the premium rounds, to continue at the end of the game, but, well, he only had 2 left. In fact, he used up all of the premium rounds during his fight with the VK, and too right too, he needed to use those premium rounds on that big, heavily armored, heavy tank, whereas on the ELC, he only needed to fire standard AP because, of course, as I said, 15mm is the strongest armor on an ELC EVEN 90. 3,131 hit points of damage in the game. 118 was the damage he did at distance of 300 meters or more, so not very much. And 3 hits received from the enemy. 2 were penetrations, 1 non-penetrations. I think both penetrations, actually, if I remember correctly, actually came from the ELC, whereas the one that was a non-penetration was a shot from the E25, or at least one of the E25s, where he actually fired and hit the tracks rather than actually hitting the body of the vehicle. And that's a good thing, because if that 75mm round had hit the vehicle, I think he would have suffered a loss of at least 135 hit points, and that might have been a problem. 5 enemy vehicles were spotted, 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 8 were killed, and he got 1,142 hit points of spotting assist. I was correct. Yes, he did get 100 defense points. He actually reset it so many times trying to get that VK that, yes, well, he didn't reset it a lot of times, but he resetted it enough to get 100. And on a premium count, he earned 108,270 credits for the battle, 54,135 credits from personal reserves, 162,405 credits altogether. And after repair, ammunition, resupply, he still made a profit of 41,079 credits. So admittedly, his ammunition costs were a little high because he had to use all that APCR. But it paid off in the end because he did get the penetration, the last penetration on that VK right at the end of the game. 2,230 XP for the battle, times 2 for the first victory, 223 for this being a premium vehicle, and 2,230 from personal reserve bonus. He took away 6,914 experience points altogether. So let's have a look at the ELC EVEN 90 and its armor. If it will come up. Yes, it has come up. Okay, right there. Okay, no, I don't need that control on privacy. Okay, this is the little beastie. It's actually very, very thin armor. I mean, it looks a lot of red there, but remember, these are 90mm rounds. So if you look at the front of the vehicle, 15mm there, 15mm there. Everything else is very, very thin indeed. In fact, the upper plate on the front of the vehicle is only 8mm thick, but it is well angled back. But it's so thin, really, it's not going to give you much protection. If that E25 actually fired the round there, I think it would have penetrated. But he actually fired and hit the tracks there instead, and that's why he didn't pen. It's an incredibly light vehicle, this one. It actually only weighs 8 tons. That's the maximum weight, which is about, what, 4 Fiat 500s together? But that's mainly down to the fact that it does have some armor which is designed to stop shell fragments and bullets, not designed to stop shells. In fact, it was designed to be as lightweight as possible to make it be able to move quickly. And it does move quickly in the game. It's 70 kilometers an hour maximum speed, 20 in reverse. And that's all off 160 horsepower, which is about the same horsepower you get from a revved up Fiat Punto. I mean, it really is ridiculously underpowered. but it is a tremendously capable little light tank. Doesn't accelerate very quickly, but once it gets moving, it is moving quite quickly. And because it's so tiny, it's very difficult to hit because it can be bouncing all over the place on the battlefield. Anyway, that's the collision model. Let's have a look at the live model. Yeah, every shell that hits this thing is just going to go straight through. And there's, you can see the hitbox. It's, yeah, perforated, or could be perforated very easily. Let's have a quick look at the modules, if it will come up. Come on, modules. I wish to see you. My computer's being a bit slow today. Come on, come out, wherever you are. Oh, it's not showing it. Okay, well, I'll have to go in and find you, which I mean select that and that, and there's the ELC EVEN 90. Can we see it, please? There you are. Okay. It was up earlier. I don't know why it just disappeared all of a sudden, but you can see the driver is on in a reclined position on the left-hand side of the tank, and we can see the commander and the gunner are actually sitting right alongside each other, with the gunner actually next to the gun and the commander next to the radio. The ammo rack, or rather the autoloader mechanism, is in the bustle of the turret, and there's another big ammo rack down below inside the tank itself. I know it looks like they're standing up. They're not standing. It's they are, I believe they are seated, but in a semi-standing position. We've got the engine at the back, directly behind the commander and the tank commander and the gunner, and the transmission right at the very rear of the vehicle. And the fuel tank is sitting right next door to the engine, what it is, and of course that's directly behind the gunner. A lot of French tanks actually have the engine up front next to the driver, or at least the AMX-13s do, because they have the driver over here, and then they have the engine on the left-hand side of the vehicle, and so that keeps him nice and warm. But I suppose with the ELCs, they wanted to keep the engine away from the driver, because, of course, this tank was going to be used in foreign climates, and after all, the driver would get quite hot if he had an engine next to him all the time. But that's where all the modules are. If you want to get some damage, just aim anywhere, and more than likely something will go through and hit somebody, because, of course, it's very crowded inside that little tank. So congratulations to Picklefish44 picking up an ace tanker, Radley Walters, and all those medals in his little ELC EVEN 90. Yes, this thing can be a terror in the right hands, and of course, because it's a premium tank, anyone can get one. But not everyone can do what Picklefish44 did on this occasion. And I challenge anyone to actually take a tank out like this and score a win 8 that high. That is very, very difficult indeed. So congratulations, great game. And taking down a VK100-01P at the end of the game, well, that was something, was it? That's a David and Goliath, that is, because he took down the biggest, brutish enemy heavy tank he could think of. This poor little David, with his sling and his very low-powered 90mm gun, still managed to take the guy down and win the game. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.